Good morning. I was repacking my Yoshi muffler here, and I chose to use the Moose Racing packing kit for it that's made for the RS-4 muffler. However, what I found was the Moose Racing kit comes as a pre-bagged wrap kind of thing. And it didn't take into account where the center core pipe has to be on this muffler for the 250L with the turned out end cap. The core pipe ends up higher in the can than on a regular RS-4. So with this wrap being consistent all around, there was absolutely no way I could line up the end cap. You know, to fit the pipes together. So I ended up cutting the mesh encasement on the preformed wrap and just taking out all the stuffing and packing it in there by hand so that I could place and position things correct. Oh man, I've had a hell of a time. I could not get the inner core lined up on a straight line so that this cap that fits over that inner core could actually go in place. There was just no freaking way. So I had to take the Moose Racing packing liner, like the wrapping, all apart, and then put the packing in by hand with a paint stick so that I could keep that core lined up while I did it. For any of you doing this with the Yoshi muffler, repacking it, this carbon fiber end cap is a bitch to get on. Getting it off is no worries, and getting it back on, that's a nightmare. You know, carbon fiber, it doesn't want its ends messed with, you know, but it's so tight. And then when you get it off, this stainless casing kind of springs out a little bit, you know, and then it pulls the ends in when that comes out. So when you try to put this back on, it no longer lines up. So had to use bar clamps to squeeze the sides in a bit so that it would conform to the right shape. Oh man, difficult, I'll tell you. And then getting the rivets in, well. And here we go, we finally got the rivet conundrum figured out. Anyway, I finally got it to work. So this Moose Racing packing is supposed to be not fiberglass, and they say it lasts 5 to 10 times longer than the stock packing from Yoshi. So we shall see whether that's true or not. So maybe after struggling to replace the packing on that muffler, maybe I'm armed with enough info to do a little bit of a review of the Yoshi RS-4 for the CRF250L, because I discovered a lot of things, or a few things, that Yoshi could and should do differently. So divided into two sections, appearance and performance, and then the next section would be maintenance. In appearance and performance, it is top-notch. I love it. I mean, it performs really well, and it looks awesome. Also, the sound is very nice, except when it's needing maintenance. But in ease of maintenance, though, that's where Yoshi could do something very different. I think I can come up with many ways, well, several ways, I'm sure, and I was pondering this last night, how to design the end cap differently, or the access differently to maintain the muffler, so that you're not fiddling around trying to line something up almost blind, with tolerances on a pretty delicate material on that carbon fiber on the edges. you know, trying to line it up with something that slightly goes out of shape. So anyway, they could do a lot better in that department. Plus, if you look at the turnout end cap on the one for this bike, and then you look closely at how that low volume insert is put in, and or the spark arrestor, it's pretty Mickey Mouse. I mean, you're trying to put something that's at pretty much with a 45-degree sharp bend in it into a straight surface, a straight tube. And I mean, you know, that's pretty difficult. So you gotta hammer it in basically, and you know, it seems like it doesn't have any finesse to it. And taking it out is much worse. You've got to devise if you don't have a slide hammer, you've got to devise a way of creating a slide hammer, you know, to force it out. You know, it's put in and it's taken out by brute force, and I don't like things like that. They could have done it differently, like easily. Anyway, they didn't, so I have to contend with it, and that's something I don't like. The other thing I didn't like about Yoshi was I called them because I know that the end cap, the rivets you have to drill out and replace, require a special rivet, and it's not just your standard stainless steel rivet. Anyway, so they said yes, indeed it does, and this is the rivet we use. He sent me a spec on it, and so I asked him, I said, how much for a bag of 50? He said, yeah, we can sell you a bag of 50, $50 plus shipping. And I thought, what? $50? No. Why would you do that to hopefully a valued customer who just spent quite a bit of money on your system? Anyway, no, he said that's the price. $1 a rivet. Take it or leave it kind of thing. So I left it. And I went to, or I called, I did a little digging, and I found the people who supply Yoshimura. And anyway, they deal in this rivet, and he offered to sell me a bag of 50 for $8.47, I think it was, plus $5 shipping. And of course I jumped at that. Nice guy. I mean, he was helping me out, right? You know, because these rivets are hard to find. So I guess on a scale of 1 to 10 overall, I would give it a 7. Simply because of the awkwardness of maintaining it and or switching to spark arrestor or cleaning your spark arrestor if you chose to have it in. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. So take care, have a good day, and have some fun, eh?